All right, welcome back, Shima girls. I'm so happy you're back here with me at Shima Hair 21. Now, today I want to share with you, Shima girls, 5 healthy tips to help you prevent hair breakage when you're creating your Shima buns and your ponytails. Okay, now the reason I want to, talk about this issue is because many of our black women have been experiencing a tremendous amount of hair thinning, around their edges, around even their nape, because they're pulling their hair into these hair buns and these, ponytails way too tightly. They're doing it all wrong. So I want to share with you these, tried and true techniques so that you won't have to experience, any more bad hair days ever again. So let's begin with tip number 1. And tip number 1, well, it's obvious. Stop pulling your hair buns, stop pulling your ponytails so tightly. It should be just tight enough so the hairstyle can stay in place, but not so tightly that when you frowning all of this is hurting. If all of this is hurting your skin area, especially your hairline area, then the hairstyle is way too tight. So basically just loosen it up, ladies. Just loosen up the banana clip, loosen up the scrunchie, loosen up the hair ribbon, whatever you use to keep your ponytail and your hair bun in place, loosen it up. All right, simple as that. And now, Shima girl, tip number 2 is be sure, Shima girls, that you are detangling your hair before you even begin to create your hair buns and ponytails. Okay, and the way you detangle is with your fingers first. Why? Because your fingers is the safest, most gentlest hair tool you can ever use on your hair. So be sure you detangle with your fingers first. And also be sure that you have your Shima Hair Repair shampoo, and be sure you have your Shima Hair Repair leave-in conditioner to really detangle your hair, especially when you're washing it, so that your hair can be prepared for any style you want to create. And in this particular case, you're going to be creating your hair buns and your ponytails, and you want your hair as detangled, as smooth and silky as possible, and this is what's going to make it as detangled and smooth and silky as possible. All right, sulfate free, ladies, so that there will be no stripping of your hair involved. Remember that these shampoos that are over the counter, they generally have sulfates in them, and it's stripping your hair. All right, it's taking out the natural oils from your hair. So be sure that you have your Shima Hair Repair shampoo. Be sure you have your Shima Hair leave-in conditioner so that you can get off to a great start with your ponytails and your hair bun styles. Now, let's look at Shima girl tip number 3. And that is, make sure you moisturize. Make sure you Shima oil your hair, all right? Once your hair is washed and you're drying your hair, whether it be with the roller set, the blow dryer, put it on medium. If you're using a blow dryer, put it on medium. Using the hair dryer, put it on medium. Once your hair is completely dry, your next step is to Shima oil your hair. Okay, remember that the Shima oil is to help stop hair dryness in its track. Remember that Afro textured hair is plagued with hair dryness, and that is the main reason that our hair always breaks off at the same time it grows out. All right, so be sure that you Shima oil all of your hair before you attempt to do any style. Now, if you're going to be creating your Shima buns, be sure that you Shima oil the ends of your hair thoroughly, so that that moisture can last the 1 week or the 2 weeks that your ends are going to be tucked in the bun. Okay, so be sure you focus most of the Shima oil on the ends of your hair, and then the rest on the bulk of your hair. Now, if you're just going to be wearing the ponytail, then you're going to be Shima oiling your hair at least once a day to every other day. Okay, now the reason why is because your ends are out. Okay, your ends are out. Basically your hair is loose. It just happens to be pulled back into a simple ponytail. So be sure you Shima oil your hair so that you can stop that hair dryness in its tracks. Okay, great. Shima girl tip number 4 is, don't pull your hair into any ponytail. Don't pull your hair into any hair bun when it is dripping wet. Okay, be sure your hair is damp before you create, you know, your ponytails and hair buns. Now, the reason you shouldn't be creating any styles when your hair is dripping wet is because, remember, there's going to be, you know, combing involved, you know, some pulling involved, and our hair is at its most fragile when it is wet. Okay, keep that in mind. Our hair is at its most fragile when it is wet. It is in the shower, you know, that our black women lose the most amount of hair because of the tangling and the wetness. It makes it 10 times, it multiplies that fragileness. Okay, so be sure that you towel blot your hair, get it damp, and then you can proceed to create your hair buns and your ponytails. And finally, Shima Girl tip number 5, be sure that you use your Shima hairline creams on the edges of your hair. Okay, once you create your hair buns, once you create your ponytail, make sure that you are using your Shima hairline creams, ladies, so that way your style remains moisturized and neat. Because it's very important that the edges be taken care of, because your edges are still out. You know, your edges is basically, your hair is loose, it's just so tiny that you can see it, but your edges are out and they need to be moisturized. All right, so be sure you put the Shima hairline cream on the edges of your hair. And this is especially important with the Shima bun, because remember, the Shima bun is a protected style, and if it's in a protected style, you're preserving your hair. Okay, so you're gonna preserve the ends of your hair and you're gonna preserve the edges of your hair, but you gotta do it the right way. All right, you gotta have everything intact, keep it moisturized, you know, and the style is also low manipulation, so that means you're not going to be touching your hair on a day-to-day basis, only when it's time to moisturize your hair. All right, this is basically what you're going to be using like every other day. Don't use this every day, every other day, because it's potent enough. And well, basically that is it, Shima girls. I hope these tips have been instrumental for you today, and I definitely hope you use these tips, because this is what's going to definitely help you prevent any type of hair breakage with your ponytails and Shima hair buns. Okay, so thank you for joining me, and I'll be seeing you very soon. Take care and God bless.